The true measure of a person is mind, body, and soul. Many of you don't understand the difference between fighting for honor and fighting for Rome. This is from page, I believe, 255, part 2. Yes, 255, The Roman World. I see before me the gladiator lie. He leans upon his hand. His manly brow consents to death, but conquers agony, and his drooped head sinks gradually low. And through his side the last drops, ebbing slow, from the red gash fall heavy one by one, like the first of a thunder shower, and now the arena swims around him. He is gone, butchered to make a Roman holiday. While stands the Colosseum, Rome shall stand. When falls the Colosseum, Rome shall fall. And when Rome falls, the world. Lord Byron, from Childe Harold's Pilgrimage. Notice it says butchered to make a Roman holiday, and while stands the Colosseum, Rome shall stand. When falls the Colosseum, Rome shall fall, and when Rome falls, the world. So the warrior is valued in all cultures, whether you're fighting for honor or fighting to make a Roman holiday with a Roman ritual. Part of the reason I'm the top martial artist is because my efficacy from the boxing range. The boxing range is your fully extended strike, as opposed to being up close. And, the trapping range, which Wing Chun, for example, focuses on. And it's the same reason the ancient martial artists triumphed on the battlefield. The boxing range, or the full extension of the weapon range. Your ability to be precise, strategic, and fast were all that mattered on the battlefield. For it did not take much force to harm somebody with a weapon. Therefore, strength is not an important transferable skill, but rather speed, precision, dexterity, agility, and technique. Rome, by 410 AD, was a city with 1 million people. It was founded in 753 BC, according to legend, by Romulus, who was raised by wolves. Many people emulated the Romans in the fasci, the Roman eagle on the American flag stand to this day. Hitler emulated the Romans. The Italians, who pretty much built Rome, according to more sources, obviously emulated the idea of a fasci, a bunch of, nation states coming together. Rome got its ideas from Greece, who in turn got their ideas from Egypt. And thus you have a Roman perspective of things. All roads lead to Rome. So it is particularly distasteful that women do not focus on mind, body, and soul and fighting for honor, but they have taken on a Roman perspective instead. This is right. This is wrong. Also, it is important to note that liberals typically are the people in the big cities, right? Except for maybe in the South, maybe. And the good Christians from the rural areas typically are more conservative. And Rome itself was a big city, a pagan city, until Christianity finally got a hold of it after Constantine. So you had a pagan base with a kind of superficial Christian Roman aristocracy and governing class leading the pagan rabble around to further the interests of Rome when they're really selfish and full of Babylonian mysteries. The Romans and the Talmudic Jews, the rabbinical Talmudic Jews, are the center of the great conspiracy. Thus the Vatican and the international financiers and their relatives and associates. For women to have shunned me for doing the right thing and have adopted a Roman perspective, the greatest oppressors historically were either Romans or they took on Roman philosophies. That is atrocious. There is no excuse for it. I find myself quite often astounded at the stupidity of women every moment of every day. They did not stand with me. They stood with them. And they waited for permission from the gang stalkers to try to prey on me, the unattractive among them. This is disgraceful and dishonorable. I've put my money where my mouth is in the mecca of martial arts, the San Francisco Bay Area. I have fought for honor and I have achieved it. The day after tomorrow, we will be in October. October. I have been doing this for almost 3 years exactly. Fumed, drugged, sabotage. My videos slow down. Most of the day I wear these fucking glasses. They're not even prescription, they just block the sunlight. Because their drugs, like prescription drugs typically do, have made my eyes very sensitive to sunlight and messed up my optical nerve in the areas of my brain associated with vision. Not to mention, my eyes fail to retract. They're dilated, right? When I look at screens. So it messes up my martial arts. It messes up my driving. It messes up my ability to read. Remember, I have 10,000 valid sources in the last 7 years. And since about 2010 to 2014 or so, I was in college. So the majority of the last 7 years I spent in college. And the 10,000 valid sources do not include the sources I read, for my college work. I do not emphasize my software engineering degree. I don't care about computers. I care about saving the world. I don't care about impressing inferior minds who have a Roman philosophy, a Western philosophy, a Babylonian philosophy, a materialistic spiritual bottom feeder philosophy. I care about fighting for honor in God. And I am not going to put on a blood sport, a blood show, a bloodbath, so that a bunch of Roman ninnies can say, oh, that's cool. And the modern day equivalent of the spectators in the Colosseum can say, no, I am fighting for honor. The only time I use my martial arts is when I am training, when I am sparring, or when I am killing. That is what they are for. That is the honorable way to use them. We do not beat up people for the slave masters and the Romans' entertainment. That is not martial arts. That is Roman nonsense. That is pagan nonsense. That is Colosseum, bloodbath, dishonorable, thuggish, scumbags who are sentenced to being a gladiator type of nonsense. I've gone over this time and time again. Fighting proves nothing. Transferable skills for war prove everything. And for those you ninnies who don't understand, sparring is battlefield training to kill people. Transferable skills. Grappling meant nothing with your hands full of weapons and shields. Grappling meant nothing. Trapping range meant nothing. Boxing range means everything, and those grapplers cannot take me down before I can effectively strike them. The trapping range guys cannot get into the range before I effectively strike them. And I have countless demonstrations. One of my most recent that I'm waiting to release, 12 hits in 1 second. And I have 10 hits in 1 second in other ones, but I'm waiting for the right time. I can stab somebody from very close range 12 times in 1 second. I can do strikes from the boxing range 12 times in 1 second. That's my record. And I'm fucking tall. You know what I'm saying? I am fucking tall. I have long reach, rather. I'm the greatest warrior in American history. Most other martial artists don't even understand martial arts, much less have the intensity that I have, much less have the fucking physical prowess that I have, much less have been doing this intensely to be the best, not for, a sport, for fun, or for arts, for the sake of art or entertainment or whatever, but to be the best for 20 fucking years. I have. I'm in the mecca of martial arts. I have these pussies prank calling me and trolling me instead of accepting my challenge. I am not a Roman. I am an African. I am not a mainstream American. I am a transcendent hero. I am not the servant of the elite. I am not a follower of controlled opposition. I am a transcendent hero. I am a man of honor, and I will fight for honor to the death. And if anything less is just something less. You will be hard-pressed to find anyone as intelligent as I am. You will be hard-pressed to find anyone as spiritual and religious as I am. And you will never find a greater warrior than myself. Therefore, I am probably the best catch when it comes to a man in America, perhaps in all of American history. And women are fucking stupid for not seeing that. Women have inferior minds for not valuing that. And they will turn to a Roman oppressor argument to make their case and to try to excuse their behavior. while I turn to God, tradition, and Africa. And at this point, I will read for you what needs to be said again, because apparently these ninnies don't understand. Fucking Roman scum. Fucking criminal Italian mafia Roman fucking trash. Mastery in either art could bring a skilled practitioner respect for his graceful execution, the admiration of potential wives, and economic advancement. Each art provided a path of spiritual development that could take an exceptional adept to one of the highest forms of honor in Africa, the status of a transcendent hero. I am a transcendent hero, not a Roman fucking citizen. Someone who was initiated into full mastery of Ngolo could become a special kind of ancestor, one who could physically manifest in the bodies of his descendants. Similarly, the Biafran art, I am a Biafran, that's what that flag is right there. Similarly, the Biafran art of Umba and its cognates could serve as a tool to achieve the highest of honors. A master of the art de Umba who remained true to the accompanying moral code could become a transcendent hero, the most honored of ancestors, who could be called upon for guidance in important matters and could reincarnate among the living while retaining a position among the dead ancestors. Now, you will hear bootlicking, pseudo-scientific philosophy of science having pussies saying, he believes he can reincarnate. Yes, when people hear my videos after I'm gone, the spirit that I impress upon them, when I speak with force especially, will be felt with them even after I'm gone. My descendants, my tribe's descendants, the honorable warriors and their descendants will feel my spirit and my presence through my videos and through my deeds long after I am gone. And in a sense, that is reincarnating, my spirit surviving, living on through my ancestors, my philosophies, my words, my struggle, my great endeavor, my plight. The most honored motherfucker. And during my time, women lacked the insight, the perception, the moral will, the moral clarity to value me. When I was the best catch, they were a bunch of conformist Roman pussies that I have conquered. The fuck does that tell you about these pigeon-ass, lesser sex conformist, cowardly, sniveling punk-ass bitches? Now remember, the traits of the spiritual bottom feeders. Conformity, cowardice. Now think about how this applies to women. Conformity, cowardice, materialism, shallowness, selfishness, evilness, and lies. Does that not apply to the average female who lives a lie and therefore is evil, accepting a Roman, shallow, selfish philosophy? Are they not the cowardly sex? Oh my gosh, a spider! Are they not the more conformist sex? Are they not the most materialistic sex? All those traits embody women to a T. Therefore, they must, using a fair scale, they must be the lesser sex. And that is why nature meant for them to submit to their husbands, like the Bible says. Read more, use your head more, and don't let a bunch of Roman sniveling cowards determine how you think. Don't let a bunch of Talmudic bankers determine how you think. Transcend rather than conform. Show me anyone whose video slowed down. Show me a better demonstration.
This is 9/28/2016 from the same day as the fire, and this song I uploaded today. It's a clip from it. Great spaghetti is.
Too bad they're gonna slow down. The Mecca is in the Bay where I live.
9/28/2016. Repetition and belief in God are key.
All you Huberts, you conformist cowards, at the Center for the Advanced Study of Behavioral Sciences, your ancestors hid like bitches like you do now, while mine did all the fighting. Case in point.
MK Ultra area right here in Northern California, the San Francisco Bay Area, more or less.
Cheating ass dogs. You couldn't cheat your way out of the battlefield.